What's up, club? Look, okay, some of you guys are on this quest right now, and I'm sure you already know it, but cardio is important. Resistance exercise is important. And when you put the two together, they become super powerful, okay? And you might think of resistance exercise as, oh, I'm doing a push up, or I'm doing a dip, or I'm doing a pull up. Yes, you're causing mechanical tension in different parts of the body, but movement in itself, okay, going for a walk or going for a run is a form of cardio and a form of very light resistance. Well, when we're talking about running, it's light resistance, okay, in the legs. All right. We have to find different ways to combine these two together because those challenge the body in two different ways. The muscles get their mechanical tension, and the cardiovascular system also gets its work in as well. When you work the two, I'm telling you, it's the most powerful kind of exercise. All right. The kind of cardio that we love to do in our fitness regime is jump rope. Okay. We have jump rope, and then we have a powerful cardio resistance exercise I like to call tabletop kicks. Okay. Tabletop kicks. Now, I know in the beginning, the tabletop kicks are going to be difficult. Okay. And they should be. That's what makes it so strong. All right. But if it's difficult to the point that you can't do it, then we have to find an alternative. Okay. There are ways to regress the tabletop kicks if you have shoulder issues. Okay. So I'm going to show you that quickly, and then we're going to find alternatives to the tabletop kicks because there are alternatives. All right. So look, if we want to regress the tabletop kicks because you have shoulder issues, then now the tabletop kicks, instead of doing them on your hands, you shorten this chain and you do it on your elbows. Okay. So you start in the plank. All right. So here I would be, and then I'm going to go tabletop kick, tabletop kick, tabletop kick. All right. So this takes a lot of pressure off of the shoulders because we shorten the kinetic chain from the hand to the shoulder. Okay. But it causes more compression in the core, which is excellent. Okay. So you're going to be working your core even more when you actually get on your elbows in that position. Okay. So that's one regression. Okay. If we cannot do the regression and we need an alternative, all right, here are a couple exercises that we can do as alternatives. Okay. And I will be adding these directly to the classroom tab. But for now, I'm just logging this someplace. All right. So cool. Here we go. All right. Here is one alternative exercise. We are not ready for the tabletop kicks yet, or the jump rope is just too much for us. Then we're going to count breaths on this exercise here. I didn't come up with a cool name for it yet, but I want you to see it. Okay. So we're on our back. We're on our back, and we're going to raise up. Okay. We're going to raise up. We're going to have one leg up. Okay. And then we are going to come down and reach for that leg. Okay. That was the whole exercise. So now I switch my foot. I raise my leg. I raise my hips. I bring them down. I reach up to the foot. Okay. And so what we're focusing on here, full extension of the hips, and we count our breaths. Okay. So for this, I would like us to do 50 breaths. Okay. So we're not counting the touches. We're counting the breaths. Okay. So now that is going to work the core in a much more gentle way. The entire core, the front and the back. You're going to feel it in the back when you extend the hips, and you're going to feel it in the front when you reach for the foot. Okay. And that is what you're going to need to get up better and make that bridge to the tabletop kicks. Okay. That's the very beginning. Okay. Now when that becomes easy and you can do that for 50 breaths, you can do that for 100 breaths, that means your cardiovascular capacity has raised. That means your core has gotten stronger. Okay. So now once you get to that point, now instead of doing the tabletop kicks, we're going to do the tabletop crawl. Okay. So you want to find yourself a nice little square of space. I'm going to use half of this carpet right here, and I'm going to show you. We're going to get in the tabletop. Okay, we're going to get in the tabletop, and all we have to do is go one to the right, one back, one to the left, one up. Okay, and then we're going to go in the opposite direction. And we're counting breaths here. Same thing there. We're going to go for 50 breaths like that. And trust me, by the time you get done with that, it's easier than the tabletop kicks, but you are going to feel pressure building up in your legs, okay? Pressure building up in your core. That's what you need. We have to get comfortable with being uncomfortable in order to transform the body. It's that uncomfortability that actually is where the transformation must happen, okay? Because when that uncomfortableness is happening, that means the muscles are creating that stimulus that we need, okay? There is a kind of breakdown that is happening. There's a kind of exchange that is happening. And at the end of that breakdown and exchange, there's an assessment that is made, okay? And once the body makes that assessment, it decides to go say, all right, do we have the proper building blocks to make an adaptation so that the next time we do this, it's not as difficult? You understand? So it's that uncomfortable space. Even when we are practicing our intermittent fasting in the morning and 10 o'clock comes, 11 o'clock comes, we get a little bit hungry, okay? Get a little bit hungry. That is the space that you want to be in, okay? We've been conditioned to say, oh my gosh, I feel this hunger. I must kill it. I gotta get out of it. No, you have to endure, okay? Because that's where the transformation is happening, okay? So honestly, that's the best time to exercise. And I understand if the schedule does not fit it, okay? That's the optimal time to exercise, but it's not the only time to exercise. The time to exercise is any time that you can, all right? That's the best time to do it, all right? So cool. I wanted to show you guys those two alternatives, and that's why we have to check in on Friday, all right? Friday, tomorrow, we're going to get a new check-in video. And I want you guys to tell me exactly where you're at, what workout you're at, and what exercise is difficult so that we can continue to work on your routine and make sure that it's custom fit for you. All right. And some of you guys that are just starting the quest right now, this isn't irrelevant to you because we're still working on, getting into our MAM, our martial arts movements, and we haven't actually got deep into the stamina challenges yet. But they're coming, okay? The jump rope and the tabletop kicks, there's a beauty in there, man. It's going to advance your body so much, all right? But if we can't do it, then I understand, and we got to find alternatives, which is fine, Get through the 90 days. And just like Mike Butala, right? Mike went through it once. It took him 120 days, right? And Mike knows why it took him that long. But you might be Mike, right? You might have missed 5 days. You might have went on vacation. Whatever it happens to be is completely fine. Okay. But finish. And even if something is too difficult, you have to reach out to me. That's why I'm here. All right. So I can help you through these things and we can find alternatives so that the next time you go through the quest, right, you're going to kill it. You already built the adaptations that you need in the cardiovascular system and your metabolic flexibility, and you're going to kill it. And that's when first you're going to shrink and then you're going to blow up, right? Then you're going to build the real seasoned muscle, but you got to burn the fat first in order to do it and build your basic foundation. All right. Don't want to talk too long. I'm going to put this on YouTube and load it up into the general discussion. And then you'll catch me on a check-in video tomorrow. All right. Peace, guys.